So now if we look at this, you can see that the this waits and then it shoots, which is fine. But the only problem with that, I'm going to make it wait a little bit longer too. Let's do 2.5 seconds. Is that it's on there. It'd be nice if it just kind of appeared and then shot. So what I'm going to do is add a bit more to this code here. And up here, I'm going to add another variable that is going to hold the sprite renderer. So I'm just going to do SP for sprite. That's just what I'm deciding to name it. And it's going to be of the type renderer. And I'm going to assign it here, SP. Oops, and it's going to be get component dot renderer. Okay, and then all we're going to do is so it's going to get the component, and then it's going to turn it off initially. So we're going to do sp dot enabled, and we're going to set that to false. So basically, it's going to set it not enabled. So basically, the render is going to be turned off. So if you look over here, see where it says sprite render, it's the same as doing this. That's what I'm doing, just so you get the idea. But I'm doing it through code over here. So I'm just going to take the same thing here. See, so I'm going to turn it off initially, right as soon as it starts, and then I'm going to turn it on just before it shoots. So I'll put it on true. And now you'll see if I hit play, is that he will come in, it won't be on there, and then it'll just come out. All right, just like that. Beautiful. And I'm just going to save that, and we are good on that bit there. So let's get some other stuff done. So one of the other issues I have is this. I have these characters and these various things coming in here, but I need them to be destroyed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my enemy here. Well, we'll take this one here because this is the entire thing here, and I'm gonna, which is oops, right here. So it's the whole character. Okay, click back to 2D. I don't know why I'm in 3D. And I'm just gonna go ahead and add a 2D physics component, a box collider, and that looks fine. So it's good and good. And then I'm also going to, well, before we continue on with that, what I'm gonna do is go to game object. I'm just going to do D. I'm just going to do a sprite. I don't really care. And we're going to call this bottom box, bottom boundary box, we'll say. Okay. And all this is going to do is basically destroy anything that's down there. I'm going to go ahead and add a sprite to it. So I just click this little target symbol next to sprite. And I'm just going to choose background, which is like a built-in one. We'll scale it up. And we'll go W, I'm going to go down, R, and it's just got to be big enough to basically fulfill what I need it to. So I just want to make sure it's out of frame. And I'm just going to go ahead and put it in foreground so I can see it. Okay, so I just want it just out of frame. So that's good. We can even turn the sprite renderer off. Good. So this is just going to go ahead and kill that. So I'm going to make a new script, create a JavaScript, and I'm just going to call it, we'll call it killbox underscore, sorry, not underscore, just script. And I'm going to open that up, and it's not going to really do, try again, and it's not going to do anything other than just one thing. So I'm just going to delete, and it's going to be function on trigger enter 2D, and it's going to be other, and it's a collider, 2D collider, and it's simply going to do this. It's just going to destroy the other dot game object. Okay, and that's all it's going to do, and that is great. So Control S. And I'm going to minimize that, and good. So let's take this, and I gotta add a physics 2D component. I gotta add the box collider onto this, and we're gonna go ahead and also make it a trigger so that it will function. That trigger script that we just wrote will write, and we will hit play. And I'm just gonna see. Hopefully it will kill this guy. Hopefully it'll kill this box too. It did not. Hopefully it kills this guy, and it did not. Okay, because I didn't put the script on it. So let's go ahead and assign the script onto it. Now let's try it. Boom. So hopefully this kills this box, which I'm not seeing. And it did not kill him either. Okay. Let's see something. And he is not even making his thing. I have a feeling it's destroying that shot before it even starts. Let's see. Yeah, it's destroying the shot before it even begins. Let me see. Oh, this doesn't have a physics. Neither one of these has a physics. Okay. So, with my enemy here, I'm just going to go ahead and zero that out and zero this out so he doesn't start off there. And then I am going to, on this one, add a component onto the bigger thing here, a rigid body. And we're just going to make it as kinematic because I don't need it to do nothing. And we'll hit play. And that should hopefully make that work. There you go. Shoots it. It should kill the box. Good. And then it should kill him next. Good. And that's what I want to happen. I just want them to go off the screen. Which, did it happen too early? Well, it's good enough. I don't care. So, that's good. That's working pretty good. I'm happy with that. Let's see. So, and that should go through and basically destroy all the stuff that needs to be destroyed. Okay. So let's see what else we need. All right, and okay. So now we have that there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a script for our enemy. So I'm going to right-click, create JavaScript, and we'll just say enemy controller script. I'm going to open that up. And I'm going to go make a couple variables here. So I'm going to make a variable shot, which is going to hold the game object that it's going to shoot, which is obviously going to be, right now I have it just kind of automatically happening, but this is going to allow us to actually instantiate and like make it so it can make multiple shots, which it currently does not. There's going to be a variable for shot spawn, which is the transform, and then a variable for fire rate, which is how fast it fires. And I'm just going to go ahead and already assign this a value of 1, so every 1 second. And then there's going to be another variable for can shoot, and we'll say boolean, and we will set that to true, which means it's allowed to shoot. Okay. So one thing I want to do on this character as well, I don't need a function start. I want to have a function on trigger enter 2D, because what I want to do is basically, if for some reason the character runs into it, I want the character to die. So I'm just going to do a destroy here for this, which we've done a million times before. So we're going to say, but we got to be specific. We're going to say if the other dot tag is equal to, oops, it's going to be player, which we haven't created the player yet, and we don't need to destroy. Let's tap that in. Destroy the other dot game object. Okay, the game object. All right, now we'll go into update, and let's go ahead and clear some of that out. We don't need quite so many of those. All right, and good. And we're going to say if can shoot, and it can shoot. What I want to do is basically I want to instantiate the shot, which is going to be the game object itself, the shot spawn position, So where it's going to shoot, and oops, sorry, not this. Shot spawn. Oops, sorry. Shot spawn dot position, and then it's going to be shot spawn dot rotation. And so basically going to use the position and rotation data of whatever we put on shot spawn. And then we're going to say can shoot. We're going to set that to, oops, we're going to equal, sign it the value of false, right? So it's going to shoot, and then it's not allowed to shoot. And then it's going to run a function called reload, which is basically going to make it wait to fire the next shot. So we're going to do function reload. This is going to be our function here, and it's just simply going to be a yield, I spelled that wrong, yield wait for seconds, and it's going to be the fire rate, and then we'll turn can shoot back on, can shoot, and we'll set that to true. We'll save that, click over here. I'm sure I'll have some sort of error. Shot spawn, it did not like. Shot, oops, I capitalized it up here. And let's see. Good. All right, so then what we're going to do is I'm just going to take this and throw this right onto enemy. And then I got this script right here, so it's going to be the speed. Did I put a speed in there? I don't remember putting speed. Oh, that's a different script. I thought oh, that was shot script I just dropped on there. Whoops. That was not the one I wanted. I meant the enemy controller. Whoops. That one's the one I wanted. There we go. Okay. And the fire rate is, we'll say 2 seconds. Okay. And the shot spawn, I'm just going to use it itself. So it's going to spawn it right where this object is. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a prefab of shot. We're going to drop it in here. I'm going to delete it here. And then on this, I'm going to set this to the, oops, sorry, onto shot. And then we'll keep enemy still on the transform. Okay, so it's going to shoot this. We need to have it as a prefab so it can do multiple ones of it. So it should theoretically shoot. And then, okay, so that's working, but it's spawning from the center, which is kind of weird. So let's see. That's up here. Why is it not spawning in the right location? All right, well, I'm just an idiot. The reason why it was doing that is that I had the shoot weight later. So what was happening is it wasn't shooting till down here, so it was moving it down. So basically, if you just change this back to 0 for shoot weight, it will fix it. I also took my guy and I moved him up here so he's out of frame to begin with. You can't see it here, but and then that seems to fix it. So that way he shoots it from above. The only problem is you can see he's shooting a bit fast. So also the bullets are not fast enough. So I'm going to go to this one and I'm just going to change the speed. Let's try 500, which is going to be pretty fast, but let's see what that does. That's a little better. Yeah. Okay. And so now he keeps shooting him as he's going along, and that looks fine. Okay, good. So yeah, so then what I'm going to do is I got my enemy here, enemy shot. Okay, that looks good. I got my shot here. I'm just going to make sure my numbers all look good. So speed, let's do a little bit less. Let's do 400. I think that's a little bit better. And shoot weight, I'm not going to put anything on that because I'm doing that through the code up here anyhow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to drop it into here. So now this is also a prefab. So that I have access to that because I need to instantiate these as well. All right, we'll go into the next video.